Variety Boxing with Frank Warren and Queensbury Promotions here at the iBox just after a spar with Belfast cruiserweight Caoimhin Agyarko. How are you, sir?
Yeah, not too bad. Just got back to camp on Monday, so it's good to be back. I haven't fought since November. Haven't been back to camp since November, so yeah, it feels good to be back and I can't wait to get back out there.
Been enjoying yourself then?
I have. Do you know what? It's been very tough back in Belfast. I knew that I wanted to, after my last fight, I had a good performance. I still ticked over the bits and pieces, but then we went back into a lockdown. So I said I'll enjoy my Christmas, and then hopefully after I can go straight back into training. But it was very tough for me because no gyms in Belfast were open, nothing. So all I could really do is road running or try and get gym keys from somebody who I knew who owned the gym, and it was very hard. But I said I'm back now, so.
It must be strange because you normally when you're back at home, it's normally you're seeing your friends, your family, and you know, making up for lost time. This time you just got to sit in, I suppose, haven't you?
That's it. Like, I mean, I probably should have just stayed here after my last fight instead of going home and spending time with my family, because I'd have been doing the exact same things. You know what I mean? I would have been able to train here instead of I wasn't able to train back home. But listen, it is what it is. You have to make do with what you got, and I'm back to camp now. So.
Now you've been teasing in recent tweets, but you've got a good fight lined up. You did tell me earlier on, I won't say it, but here's a title fight that you've got coming up, something to look forward to and work towards. Yeah,
definitely. It's my first title fight, so it'll be a good opponent.
And it's a sort of title that'll get you a ranking, isn't it?
That's it. Get me a good ranking. So listen, we're progressing nicely. I'm only 8-0. I didn't have to take this fight. Didn't have to fight for this type of caliber of title, but I did, and I'm looking to push on. I'm looking to win this title and then pick more titles up in 2021 and hopefully be in the top 15 rankings in the world.
You say I'm only 8-0 as if you've got all the patience in the world, but you really haven't, have you?
Do you know what?
I had a chat with Francis a few months ago, and he sort of says, you know, your intensity and your impatience, you know, sort of it's quite overwhelming sometimes.
Yeah, do you know what it is? I'll be like, I think to myself, I'm only 8-0, I'm only 24, I don't have to rush things. But then I'm like, give me them all, give me anyone, give me everything. I'm a fighter, I want to fight. I'd fight every single week if I could. Do you know what I mean? I'm in this game to be a world champion, and I want to get there as soon as possible. But I got to understand that I am young, I am only 8-0, and I've got Al Smith in my corner and Francis Warren to manage my career. Do you know what I mean? So they'll keep me on the right path, and I keep on saying to both of them that I want to push on, but they'll just pull me back bit by bit, and I'll leave my career in their hands, and I trust them both.
Looking at your last two fights, the last one in particular, Robbie Chapman, he got him out in the 7th. The one before that was Jez Smith in the 9th. What struck me about those two fights was your ability to run your engine at a certain level and a certain revs. And then it's almost like you pick your moment to really put your foot down, and it's almost like up there you decide, right, he's ready to go, bang, and you know, just flick a switch. Is that kind of how it works with you?
Yeah, do you know what? Like I said, I'm 8-0, so I'm still trying to find the balance of, is this pace too much? Is this pace too slow? Do you know what I mean? And in the Jez Smith fight, the pace was too much, too early. I set the pace very high in the first round, hurt him in the first round, and then I thought, I'm going to get him out of here. But I didn't, and then I kind of went, I'm not going to get him out of here, but I've got 9 more rounds to go. Do you know what I mean? So, and then thankfully, I still had a lot in the tank to then get him out of there in the 9th. So I showed that I've got that with Robbie Chapman. I showed that I can be patient. I can just tick away.
Patient, weren't you?
Tick away, still win the rounds. But I always tell me in the corner, 10% of the time, right, this round up at 10%, next round 10%. Got to the 7th round, I landed that 1-2. And like I said, every time, once I land that shot, it's curtains. I've got that killer instinct, and I'll close the show.
It's a sign of early maturity, but you're able to employ that patience, because not many can. If you sense, most fighters, if you sense you'd be better than someone, they just go out and get them, don't they? You're showing that sort of patience, just sort of rev through the gears.
Yeah, do you know what? I learned as well that if I'm getting the kids out of there very early, I'm not learning nothing. So if I can maybe hurt them and win the rounds and learn a lot more by doing the rounds, learn to do the rounds, then I'm learning, I'm progressing. Do you know what I mean? If I'm going out there stopping kids in 2-3 rounds, what am I learning? Do you know what I mean? I'm learning nothing. So it's good to be able to go in there, take my time, look for certain shots, work on stuff that we've been working on in the gym, and then like I showed in both them fights, get them out of there late. So I feel like I am maturing as a fighter, as a professional fighter anyway, and this is only the start.
Just taking you back to the home front again briefly. You've been doing a bit of work with a world champion at home. I saw Ryan Burnett.
Yeah.
I don't know if like in my one or two of those fights you detected a little bit of that Ryan style in there. Sort of.
Yeah,
I don't know if
definitely.
he's brought something into you, hasn't he? So.
Yeah, 100%. Listen, Ryan Burnett was an unbelievable fighter. Still is. If he come back, he would still be a world champion. I have no doubt. But before the Robbie Chapman fight, I was working with Ryan, and I learned so much off him. Like I said, I wasn't able to work with him after the Robbie Chapman fight, as all gyms were closed. But as soon as I go back home after I'm in camp with Val, I'm going to be looking to work with him, because it's good to have a fighter back.
Is that
home.
his business now?
He's not training professional fighters.
Has he got his own gym?
But he just opened 2 gyms, I think. He's taking like PTs and strength conditioning, and Ryan's very knowledgeable in that game and in the boxing game. So if he was to ever go into the professional game, he'll definitely be a world class coach.
I loved him as a fighter, but how's he adapted to a premature finish to his career? It's very, very sad, you know. I mean,
Yeah.
How's he adapted? Has he sort of found normal life again, all right?
Do you know what I think? Listen, no fighter ever wants, like, he's been doing it since he was probably 8 years old, so it's probably strange for him to not be in the gym boxing every single day or fighting, but I think he's happy. I think he's content. He won the British title, he won 2 world titles, unified the bantamweight division, and
at a very young age.
At a very young age, and he only took 1 defeat, and that came to injury.
Yeah.
And Nonito Donaire, you know what I mean? He pulled the muscle in his back or something like that, and he had to retire in the 4th, 5th round in a fight that he was winning. So it was very unfortunate, but I think he's happy and content. He made a few quid out of the game, achieved his dreams, and
come out healthy.
Exactly, he come out healthy, and he didn't have to stay in the game too long.
You had your teeth done?
As you can see, I keep on smiling.
Yeah,
I got my
new
teeth
set
done.
of naturals, yeah?
Yeah.
Had them done at home, did you?
Yeah, I had them done just after Christmas there, so.
You tell people not to punch you in the mouth now?
Yeah, see, that was my first spar tonight, since getting them done, so I was a wee bit weary, but thankfully they're all good.
Was it a painful process?
It wasn't, you know what, you don't feel nothing, and you don't get any pain killers or anything like that. It doesn't hurt, so thankfully.
So what do? Drill down the bits and stick them on top? Or?
No, so I've got composite veneers, so it's just like they go over your teeth, but
right.
they can't come off, but I've still got my natural teeth underneath, so.
Okay.
Yeah.
You don't get a bit of apple stuck up there?
No.
Right, anyway, next obvious place to go with you, Billy Joe. You're being employed, are you, as a Canelo fighter-like?
Yeah, everyone keeps on calling me the Canelo clone. I'm going out
Do a compliment in there somewhere.
Yeah,
isn't it?
exactly, that's it. I'm going out to spar Billy Joe, help him prepare for the Canelo fight. I was also asked to help Calvin Smith at the time to spar for the Canelo fight. Unfortunately, that fell through, but listen, it's a good compliment for me that world champions are asking me to help them prepare for the biggest fight of their careers, you know what I mean? So I feel privileged to be asked, and I'm only going to learn from that, you know what I mean? Going out and sparring world champions at my age and at this stage of my career is only going to bring me on, do you know what I mean?
Are you going out to Portugal, is it?
Spain.
Spain. And will you go to the States?
Yeah.
So it's going to be a hell of an experience, all in all, isn't it?
That's it, do you know what I mean? Like, I'm 24 years old and I'm only 8 fights in. To go out and spar Billy Joe Saunders for the biggest fight of his career against probably the pound for pound champ is unbelievable, do you know what I mean? I'm only going to gain so much experience from that.
How do you think it'll work? I mean, will you just be absorbed as part of the team, the camp, or you know, how will this sort of thing work when you do a long-term sparring partner?
Yeah, I'd say so. Listen, I'm preparing for my own fight, hopefully sometime in May, June. So I'll be part of their camp. I'll be training with them every single day. I won't just be a sparring partner and only be sparring him on the days that he need me. Do you know what I mean? I'll be training with him every single day and preparing for my own fight.
You might walk him into the ring.
Hopefully, that would be unbelievable. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. Hopefully, I can get out to the fight. Do you know what I mean? To go out and watch that fight be unbelievable.
Hopefully, he'll still be there.
Yeah, exactly.
Middleweight scene, as I mentioned to you before, did have a little dig at you in an interview last week. You were less than complimentary about Nathan Heaney and his in his BT Sport fight the other week, and the point I made was the fact that the man had been out of the ring for a year. It was his first fight back against a sort of welterweight. Your first fight back out of lockdown was against a welterweight where, like you said, you went a bit too fast and probably weren't at your best. Maybe you were a little bit harsh in your judgment on Nathan?
No.
Not having it, no?
Well, I come in at the middleweight limit for the fight against Jez Smith. Jez Smith isn't a welterweight, he's a late middle. Do you know what I mean? Late middle, I'd say. He's not welterweight, can't make welterweight.
He is now, yeah.
Yeah, do you know what I mean? So, Nathan coming at super middle against a welterweight. Nathan's a good fighter, there's no doubt about it. I had a little dig at Nathan because he had a dig at me for the Jez Smith fight, so I went, it's only right that I have a dig back. The difference is, I got Jez Smith out of there. He didn't get a welterweight out of there. The welterweight that he fought, Jez Smith would stop, without doubt. I'll put money on that. I would put money on that Jez Smith would stop that guy. And Nathan Heaney couldn't do that, and he was a super middle. So, listen, it's a fight game. People like to talk, people like to go back and forth at each other. I don't like to be disrespectful, and I'm not a disrespectful fighter. I respect Nathan Heaney. I respect every fighter that steps in the ring. But if you're going to have a go at me, you got to be prepared to take it back. Do you know what I mean?
You're going to get a counter punch.
You got to be prepared to take it back, or you got to perform so that I can't give nothing back. Do you know what I mean? And he didn't, and he gave me the opportunity to have a go at him. And listen, a lot of people criticised him for that fight, but listen, he was out of the ring for a year or however long. All that matters is he got the job done and he got the win. So fair play to him. But next time he has a dig at me at one of my fights, just make sure that you perform in your next.
Fair enough. I'll ask you about a couple of fights. Denzel Bentley, Felix Cash, your feelings?
Very, very good fight. I sparred Denzel just before the last fight against Heffron.
Yeah.
Tough one, tough to call. I'm gonna go with my stablemate. I'm gonna go with Denzel Bentley, and I hope he wins it.
Demetrius Andrade, Liam Williams.
Liam Williams, no doubt, stops him.
Yeah.
He's an animal. Liam Williams is an absolute animal.
He is, isn't he?
I think he's improved so much under Dominic Ingle, and I really like Liam Williams. You know what I mean, he may be my same weight, and maybe in a couple of fights' time I'll hopefully be challenging him. But right now, I'm a fan of Liam Williams, and I do like him, and I hope he becomes world champion. He deserves it.
He's kind of the complete package, and he's entertaining. He walks through people. His feet are brilliant. His distance is brilliant. He punches hard. And people are sitting up and enjoy watching him, don't they?
Yeah, exactly. Do you know what I mean? He does everything right. He has a fan-friendly style. He works hard. And he gets people out of there. So he deserves nothing less to become a world champion.
And finally, your thoughts on Billy Joe and Canelo?
Billy Joe. Listen, everyone's calling me insane for saying Billy Joe's going to win this fight, and maybe they're right for calling me insane, but I think the best Billy Joe beats the best Canelo. If Billy Joe turns up and he's 100%, he will beat Canelo. Though if he doesn't turn up, obviously it's Canelo's fight. Billy Joe has to go out there and prove everybody wrong and box out his skin, no doubt. But I have faith in him. I've seen bigger upsets in boxing, way bigger upsets in boxing, and everybody's beatable. Mayweather showed that Canelo's beatable, and he showed that with pure boxing ability that you can beat Canelo. And Billy Joe's the best man for that. Do you know what I mean? He's a slick, unbelievable boxing brain, and do you know what? He punches hard. I'm telling you, I sparred him once. I've only sparred Billy Joe once, and the first thing I said when I come back was, I was surprised how hard he could hit. So it's going to be a very entertaining fight, but I hope, and I'm rooting for Billy Joe, but I think he can pull off an upset.
Down to you to get him ready, isn't it?
That's it, the Canelo clone. I'll go out and give it my best shot and hopefully prepare him as best as possible, but I think Billy Joe is one of the best fighters in the world, and I think a good fighter will beat a good boxer will beat a good fighter 9 times out of 10, and that's what Billy Joe is. He's an unbelievable boxer, and I think he can pull it off.
Caoimhin, have a great trip. Look after those teeth, and we'll see you very soon.
Thanks very much.
Take care, mate.
Take care.